what's the best way to get back into EastEnders? Just watch the channel. There you go. There's the video. Bye. I'm only joking. So yeah, this is going to be what's the best way to get into EastEnders. Now, back into EastEnders. So like if you're a lapsed fan or you haven't watched in months or you're like Ash with Coronation Street where you haven't caught the last month because you have so many subs to watch and so little time. But this is like what is the
Untrue. I'm just lazy. I'm just lazy.
we gotta big you up that
Just lazy and been in some slumps.
look, Ash, we gotta big you up that you're an entrepreneur, right? They have a Bugatti outside, and you're this guy who goes on
I wish.
islands and stuff. You know, we gotta big you
Whoa,
up.
whoa, whoa. Not the last bit.
No,
I don't want to go to any island.
get that private jet quick, quick. I need to leave. Uh, but like, yeah. So this is gonna be like, yeah. Where was the last time you watched EastEnders? Obviously, we watch it weekly because we have to review it. So it's like, so for someone to get back
If we
into,
didn't, I would not be as up to date as I am.
I lost
um,
my train of thought when I mentioned the island, but I'll go back to it very quickly. Um, but like, how do you get back into it? Well, this all depends really on who you are. Because if you're a person like us, you can watch the channel. I'm not saying we watch the videos on ourselves to get caught up, but I sometimes do. Because I'm like, I remember I said a funny thing, my one funny moment of the entire series, in one of these videos. Which one was it? I sometimes do that. But like, the best way to get back into it is to either watch some podcasts or do what we do at Christmas time, where we watch every Christmas episode, review it, and upload it, and maybe do reactions to it. Where we do where we do Walford on tap. That's the best way. If you can find someone who reviews it daily or does it like weekly, that is the perfect way because at least then if you're watching someone's podcast, yes, it's gonna be half an hour of them talking.
there is also Walford After Dark as well, who
Yeah,
do a good podcast, and they're probably a bit more family friendly.
yeah, they're fuck them. They're family
We're
friendly.
your uncle's favorite podcast. We're not your mom's favorite podcast. You know.
No. But this is obviously what I mean by this is like obviously like if you watch a podcast, you'd get up to date with it. Yes, it's gonna be like a podcast where you're sat there and going, it's 20 minutes in. Why are they talking about Spice Girls? There's only Phil Mitchell in a bikini. What the hell's going on here? Why is the Spice Girls mentioned? It's like, yes, that is the point of our podcast where I spend 20 minutes talking about something irrelevant to the subject, then get back to it, spend 5 more minutes derailing it, and then get back to it. But yeah, if you want other methods of how to watch, um, follow the EastEnders official page on Instagram, Twitter /X. I
Or
don't know.
YouTube. They also do like This Week on EastEnders, where they
Yeah,
kind of go through a bunch of stuff. It's a weird thing because it depends when you want to do it. Because there are good times to get into watching it. Is the problem. Like, my brother, he's now been watching it since Christmas 2023, so he's now been watching it for, what, a year and 9 months? Nearly coming up to 2 years. And he was kind of like a fleeting EastEnders fan who would occasionally watch it at the Christmases, but it would never stick the landing. And what was that noise? Sorry. They would never really stick the landing, so at that point in time, you kinda you needed him. He would always ask me, like, "Should I start watching?" And especially during, like, the 2020s till about 2023, I was like, "Nah. Nah, don't start watching now. Just don't. It's not a good idea." And that's kind of how it has to go, because sometimes the EastEnders is just bollocks. Like, would I recommend people get into Coronation Street right now? No. Not at all. No way. But with EastEnders, fortunately, it's kind of been on a good, like, chunk of years, right? Since 2023, it has been the definitive best soap. It has been, without doubt, without any question, without anyone even coming close. So at this point in time, you probably could pick it up whenever. But even then, so the issue with this is Ben Wadey's kind of episodes. He has only really been in charge for what, 2.5, 3 months now. So
mhm.
at the end of the day, it's not exactly. Even Chris Clenshaw took over in what, 2022, and 2022 was still pretty garbage. So you do kind of need that buffer period for it to happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, I know it kind of seems a bit less satisfying. if we were to do it right now from the 15th of September, you watch the Zoe return week, and then you go from there
Yeah.
and see if the Zoe return gets you hyped up, and then you go from there. Or if you're not that intrigued, just wait till Christmas. Wait till Christmas. Watch December. You'll know everything you need to get your gist of the gist of what's happening, and then suddenly, boom, it all comes out. Because there are right times and wrong times to get into EastEnders. Like, nobody should ever be forced to watch EastEnders in January. Because EastEnders in January is fucking shit. It's always shit. It's never that good. It's always really boring. It's always, well, it's just January. It's just January. Nobody, after Christmas, you need a buffer between that and the anniversary. So January, therefore, is shit. It's why even before the 40th anniversary this year, January was one of the worst months of EastEnders in a long time. Like, it was fucking garbage. It was so boring. We were sat here like, guys, the anniversary's in like a month. What are you doing? And then like the week before the February 40th anniversary, don't know why I turned to Tyson for a second. The week before the February anniversary was really good. But before then, it was boring. So you do have to pick your spots. You do really have to pick your spots. I think now is probably a pretty alright time to get into it because you do have a pretty exciting autumn on the way. You have Stuart's return, you have Ben's return, you have Max's imminent return, you have Zoe recently adjusted to the square. So you're not going to be entirely thrust with characters you don't know. There are the cast is quite stacked in a sense that they still have a very strong core cast, which is fairly newer, but also they still have what Kat, Alfie, Stacy, Phil, Sharon when she's back. You still have the kind of like Ian. You still have the legend, so you still have like relatively fresher character Linda. You have fresh characters like Elaine, like Cindy, who like you know Peter and Lauren kind of getting their own spotlight. The Knights. You have all these characters who it's kind of a pretty good blend of cast. But also, I won't lie, just I would just kind of start to get a little bit immersed in the circles, you know, start checking how stuff goes on Instagram, start checking the YouTube. And if you really don't want to sit through it all, just go find a podcast who talks about it. Like there's not many of us, but there are at least some of us. Don't know, I've made it sound like the Fat Boy Stan account. We may not have all the fans, but he has some of the fans. Um I say that we have a lovely fan base, and each time I'm relatively surprised at how active our community is. So thank you all. There we are.
Yeah, and I love all the comments where it's like, "Oh, Ash, you did so good, Piggy. You fucking told your shit."
Piggy, fix your fucking microphone, Piggy, prick.
Video
My
was released.
favorite one is we had a video from a year ago saying, "Piggy, you really need to sort your sound." Just click on a current video, guys. It's fixed. But yeah, I think, and honestly, I think you're just gonna have to stomach it. You're just gonna have to stomach like watching EastEnders. Just if you wanna watch EastEnders, just click on the iPlayer, watch whatever episode's currently out, and just see if you like it. And if you don't like it, maybe kind of keep a vague eye on it, but then just because you want to, like I said, you don't do the thing that some people do. Some people look at EastEnders and go, "Oh, it was from 1985. I guess I got to start from the bloody beginning." It's like, yeah, well, no one's doing that. No one, like 1% of the people who actually say I'm gonna watch it from the start actually complete it. So get that fucking idea out your head. It's done. Nobody does it. Nobody watches from the start. You just pick it up from where it is, and honestly, from wherever you pick it up, that may define what you view as great EastEnders if you enjoy it. I
Yeah,
say that as someone who got back into EastEnders in 2018, and that is not what I view as good EastEnders. Um, but it can be done. It can be done. You can find your favorites. You can find the stuff you enjoy. Just load it up. You don't need to watch any specific storylines. Obviously, there's stuff that you can do to slightly get into it. I mean, here's how I got into it. Back when I was getting into like Coronation Street and Emmerdale, and even EastEnders like fully, I would just watch the story, the clips of characters that people put on YouTube. Which, you know, not to share the full light on everything else out there, but like people do just upload a character's entire life. Like, you can probably watch all the Ben Mitchell just fully on YouTube for nothing. And you can probably find full storylines that are on YouTube. Yeah, sure, you have to watch about 700 parts of 2 minutes of videos, but like that is kind of a part of the charm. And you typically want to do that for characters still on the show, so you actually have a vested interest in these characters. Like, eh, obviously, obviously you can still do that, but like that's how I kind of got into Coronation Street, where I watched a bunch of the like queer couples kind of getting together because sometimes you just have that little window in. Like, I want to see how the LGBTQIA plus stuff's happening in the shows. It's a weird kind of fun thing to do, not weird, just fun thing to do. Like I watched Sophie and Sean, I watched Sophie and Maddie, and I watched Kate and Rana. I watched who else did I watch? But I kind of watch these storylines, and they get you into understanding what the show's like and what the humor's like and what kind of stories happen, and it kind of gives you that window in of characters you may like. And through that, if you can kind of stick the landing and actually adjust to watching the episodes, because the one slight issue with doing it in that way is you may just be watching it for one character, and if you don't pick up multiple characters, you are just going to get really bored. It's why the Balam stands have been complaining about Jay because Ben's not on the show anymore, and he will be soon. But you know, it's so weird because you kind of you if you get into it, you kind of watch it all. I'm not really one. I would never really recommend skipping through episodes. That's not really a thing I like to do. I think you kind of cheapen it all by just skipping through to see the scenes you like. Because if you're going through and not really watching it for for everyone, like you are just going to dislike it less because you're not going to update those opinions. You're not going to give characters you may dislike time to change your opinions. Like, if you hated Penny and you've not watched a single Penny Brannan scene since she initially arrived and you still hate her, you've not been watching Penny since then. And therefore, you're not updating your opinion, and therefore, you probably still don't like her because you're not giving them a chance. It's all about giving it a chance, necessarily. Because it's such a. Yeah, you harp in. I've got another thing.
No,
But
you go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead, man. Go ahead.
you look like you were going to speak.
No, it's fine. It's fine. As the
Um,
Labour Party, I let the Tories speak. Go ahead.
untrue. Take it back.
As the Labour Party,
um,
I'll let the Labour Party speak.
I don't even want to be called Labour Party these days, but anyways.
As the Green
Um,
Party, we'll let the Green Party speak.
all right. But oh god, this is really derailed. I was trying to be conscientious for the time. Soaps fundamentally, they may look like a very exhausting, very exorbitant time sink, but at the end of the day, it's a media like no other. Because if you watch a soap, you can watch a soap for years and you get about 210 episodes a year. And you're going to have a bunch of characters you like, and you're going to be able to watch a character's entire history if you want. Like, it's something that you don't really get because you don't really get these long running things. It's not like a normal TV show. It's not like a Netflix show. You don't get 10 episodes. You don't get 8 episodes. You get 6 episodes. You get about 210 episodes a year. And yeah, sure, you may not see your favorite character in it all the time, but usually you get to see their lives from when they arrived to what they are now. And just by adding more and more, you can build on the history. You can get excited about the history and about what it brings to it. Because you can think back to Stacey Slater in 2004 when she arrived. You can think back to that and you can get really excited. And you can look at her now and say, man, she's had like 700 kids. And she's still even more iconic than she was when she started. It's such a kind of rewarding medium. But also, it can get bad sometimes. And that's fine, but ultimately it is a pillar of stability, it's a pillar of comfort, and there are truly no shows like it because it's just fantastic at the end of the day. It is like a warm hug from a relative you're not seen for a while. You get to just fully indulge, and if you even if you get like out of touch with it, You can just spend like a good couple days just blasting through it, and then you don't have to agonizingly wait for like every episode to come out. You can just go through like 2 months and be like, oh my god, so much shit happens. What the fuck? Like it's great. It truly is. If you can get into a soap, you will have entertainment for years to come.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh Jesus, there's a hair in my mouth. Um, I agree with that. I for me to get back into soaps, I'm a bit weird because obviously I got back in at the end of 2022, which is Dot Brannon's funeral. As much as I rag on it, and I've just realised why I'm pissed off at it because Fat Boy got an Easter egg, but Nick Cotton didn't. That just felt so wrong. Just remembering that now. I brought it up in a previous video, but I got in around that week and I stayed watching. And then, obviously, for people who don't know, I'll just briefly give the rundown of the channel history. Ash had been, I don't want to say floundering, but he's been tampering with some channels. Tampering sounds like he's been doing some illegal like activity, but he hasn't. He was doing
Tinkering.
tinkering with some channels. He was doing a horror channel, and that kind of worked out. It's still a good channel. Like I do recommend you check out. Easily
I,
entertained.
I think the content on there is still good.
Yeah, I do agree. And obviously he wanted to talk about soaps, but this was an idea he had for years, and obviously he had no way of talking about it. And I just chimed in and went, "Let me give it a go, mate." With you, and he went, "Yeah, sure." But like, remember this is
The rest is
20.
history.
Yeah, and then remember,
Now we get paid
yeah.
sometimes.
And then if you remember back to the early days of watching Walford, there was like, "Hello, fellow watchers, and what enjoy this? It's me, Ash and Piggy." And then it's like, "Okay, Piggy, we're done recording now. Shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me. See you later." And that was it.
Yep.
And he still does that
Yeah.
today. I'm only messing. He doesn't. Um,
I do sometimes.
he does sometimes. But yeah, like I got into it by watching the end of 2022. That's why I love Ricky Bitches. And
It was
I
also kind of the perfect storm, right?
yeah.
Because you do the end of 2022 into 2023, and then you kind of have the summer of Clenshaw. Like, you have the Cindy and Ian return. You have the Knights introduction. Like, 2023 was a really good time to get into EastEnders.
I would agree. And like so, if you start at the end of Christmas or start of the anniversary week, and then
Yeah.
continue from there and see if you like it. Just dip your toe in every now and then. See if the pool's getting warmer or colder for you. And if it's getting
It's also
warmer,
like just vaguely keep an eye on stuff. Like,
yeah,
build up the idea of these characters in your head. It's like other soaps, right? I've not watched an episode of Emmerdale since like 2022. But I do know enough about Emmerdale to kind of know what's going on. And that to me is enough to kind of still get excited when stuff's announced or get excited when things change or some big events happen. So like if you kind of even if you slowly adjust to it, where you slowly start to get to know some of these characters, you watch some clips, you watch some like extra little things on the side, then this can kind of make it bigger when you actually do settle down and watch it. Because, as said, I will always suggest that the best time to get into it is Christmas, even if watching it at Christmas is kind of a poison. It's not a poison chalice as such, but it is definitely you are watching the peak. So how will you enjoy the aftermath of said peak? Essentially, like
yeah,
you're watching it when everything's going crazy and everything's going wild. And then you have to sit through January, which I've already kind of joked about is absolute hot garbage, and nobody should ever have to sit through January in Soapland ever again. Because, yeah, sure, it's the aftermath of Christmas, but it's also the breather before the anniversary in EastEnders' case. So it's kind of a thing because a lot of people do watch it at Christmas and they say I do want to watch it afterwards, but then the January then the January doomer mentality kicks in, and you're too busy doing your New Year's resolutions and going to the gym, and you're like, fuck EastEnders, shit show, anyways.
yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, you dip your toe in and see if the pool's getting warmer or colder. If it's getting warmer, then maybe put another toe in. If it's getting colder, take your toe out and run as far away as possible. But like, it's just about like, it's like right now is a perfect time if you're a Slater's fan, like, because Stacey's leaving, which is sad, yes, but Zoe's returning, and you have this like Zoe, 2025 Zoe Slater with 2025 Cat Slater. And then you have the whole, will Dermot Dolan be coming in? Probably not, but will he? Probably not, but will he? I think you have like, oh, Max is returning. Ooh,
No,
uh,
if you are a 2000s EastEnders fan, get back in now. Get back in now. A bunch of the characters you would have liked or would have enjoyed, they're coming back. So, get cooking now.
yeah, sorry.
You don't want to miss the meal.
Exactly. The cooking, lovely spaghetti. Someone say the best spaghetti. Um, so yeah, that's how I'd get back into it if I was a fan. Um, if I was a lapsed fan, is either watch some podcast or tune in when you want when your favorite character returns and watch the other characters. Just don't watch like, oh, Ben Mitchell's in this scene at 17:22. Better skip to that timestamp and watch it. Woo. Don't do that. That's fucking stupid. And we'll see you in the next one. Ooh woo. Bye bye.